Good afternoon or good day or wherever you are in the world. Today I'm going to talk about envy, spiritual envy and human envy. It occurred to me with all these wars that are going on and fighting in Israel and also Palestine, it occurs to me a lot of it is envy, power. Man wants power over the world. And so many people suffer through wars, children, innocent children on both sides. One cannot imagine how terrible acts that are going on. And what is it all about? A piece of land, power, money, riches. It's a terrible thing, envy. We can have envy of the human soul of another person, that we want to be that person and we want what that person has, be it material things, be it envy, jealousy, that you think that person has more than you and it's your right to take it or destroy their reputation. It's a very, very troubling time in the world in the year 2023. One always thinks and refers back to the Bible when it was all actually destiny stating all these things, wars would happen. But we can change it through the power of consciousness and the power of prayer and good actions. Because at the end of the day, nobody wins through wars. Really, they don't, because so much to lose. People's homes they've worked for all their lives, children that a mother has brought into the world, suddenly taken from her and destroyed, all the suffering, even the animals and everything. And it affects the whole of the world, because there's still good values in the world, believe it or not. There's still people that feel, I'm just seeing that this is recording and it is, I'm still feeling there is a lot of good in the world. I mean, all churches at the moment, we went to a church last night, Craig, myself, my sister-in-law and her mother, and it wasn't full at all. I'm talking about a spiritualist church. And people there, it was a lovely service, and lovely that people doing the healing prayer and everything. But people, it was just like somewhere to go on a Sunday night. It's like a cheap entertainment evening. And you know, the people there, they were quite elderly people, and they've seen wars themselves and people suffering, have lost people. And the mediums that were giving the service were very good, sending a beautiful prayer, very good address and everything through these troubled times. And I think the older generation that have suffered and seen gone through the Second World War cannot understand what's happening. And all these protests in London at the moment, and people actually having symbols on their back and saying never forget the 1940s, talking about the Jewish people, how they were trying to be wiped out. And it's like history repeating itself. It needn't be. And I am fearful because I have a Jewish daughter-in-law and I have two Jewish grandsons, as well as Irish grandchildren, Italian grandchild, and English. So I do fear, because she's got Jewish blood in her veins, that somebody would be out to get her. And I think it's so wrong, very, very wrong. It doesn't matter what race, what colour you are, you're still a human being. How another human being can actually torture a child and burn a child or behead them, it goes beyond belief to me. But I feel what's happening around the world and at the moment is all nature as well. We're having all freak nature, strong winds, floods, unusual temperatures and heat. This is just a sign of things to come. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get a plague of lotuses soon in some part of the world. It's as if you're being tested all the time, and it's like we've got a lot of extreme people, a lot of people that think it's so right to do what they want and to harm others. It can be in families, it can be arguments over wills, and feel it's so right that they should have everything and the siblings have nothing. It's as if very, very insecure people, and perhaps people with a paranoid personality disorder and feel that the world's against them and it's their right. And it should be that everybody should have a peaceful life, a good life, love. You might not have a lot of money, you might not own your own house, but you have love, which is precious, and most important, good health. And it does amaze me how people feel that they shouldn't, really shouldn't be doing things to help others. I'm just going to check this. I've got a feeling I'm not being recorded. Let's have a look. Oh yes, I am. That's good. You never know with all this technology, because I keep having phones coming up pictures in different things. But I feel we can all play our part by doing good things and giving aid to those less fortunate. You go to a supermarket and you see people donating food, a food bank, which is a good thing to do, even if it's a packet of cereal or a tin of soup. It's going to help some human being somewhere. If we all done that, it'd be a better world, wouldn't it? Or if we see all crisis, what's happening in Israel and other parts of the world, if we can donate perhaps nappies for children, medical things, and that all helps, we can all play our part. But at the end of the day, it seems envy is a dreadful thing. It's a very sinful thing, envy, one of the deadly sins, and jealousy. And it's all those combining together and all the innocent caught up in it. But there is still hope in the world. There's still good things to come. It's all not going to be bad. Though all the people will be moving from all war countries to going to Egypt and going further, is when all one little seed that grows and grows of hatred that spreads like a virus, like a plague, and that's when it has to be stopped. I do not condemn any killing of animals or humans or children whatsoever. But sometimes, you get people that think, well, it's my right to have this. It's my right to have all the money from the will. I've earned it. They've earned nothing, because life is very short on this planet and we're all passing through, paying ground rent one way or another. So life is a journey that we're very privileged to be here, actually. Life is a journey and lessons in life. If you have people that are unkind to you, jealous of you or envy, walk away. Don't go into their zone, because it just spreads. And that, don't be hurt by it. Walk away. You don't want to be around negative vibrations. Just be with people that have love in their hearts and that are kind people. Be with people that you feel good. It's not all about money in this life and material trappings. The highest thing is kindness and love and compassion. But unfortunately, we get some bad seeds that spread and want to grow like a virus. So we have to do our own part. I believe in the power of prayer. I believe that if we all think good thoughts and we visualization towards people that are suffering, horrific things happening, not just going across the water, but even here in England and London, we seem to have all a stabbing culture at the moment, that an innocent person walks past, somebody doesn't like it, they don't like the look of them, the way they're dressed, and they just stab them for the sake of it. I often wonder, how can this possibly be karma? How can this possibly be that person that happened to go in the wrong place at the wrong time that's stabbed? I still can't get my head around that, spiritual as I am. But I feel what we've got to do is all play our part. We don't condone killings and envy again and jealousy. Why should that person have a Louis Vuitton bag? Because I cannot have it. Well, go to work and save up for it. That's the answer. Everything's not impossible. To be possible, then put good time, good values, and save if you want something. Do it the old-fashioned way. If you really want something, save. It's like if people want a house, and I believe the deposit's now about 40,000, just save up and you can eventually have that dream if you save. If two people save and you have a vision, then it can come together. You see so many disgruntled people in this life. Why is this happening to me? Or people saying, I don't like her because she's always dressed up to the nines and has her hair done. She deserves nothing. And it's dreadful, isn't it? I mean, good old-fashioned soap and water, nice ironed pressed clothes, and look after your appearances and be clean. You can look anything. It doesn't matter about wearing designer labels. You're not going to display your designer label outside your clothing, are you? That's just a brand. That's just somebody that's made it and going to make more money out of you. You can look presentable, even if you bought something from a cheap store. You can still look nice. It's how you put things together. But people are getting very, very envious, very sort of dissatisfied with life. You see a beautiful person that might, or a child that has cancer and has acceptance of that and has non-attachment to material things but brings out compassion and love. Then you get another person that's very wealthy, might fly to Switzerland and have treatment for spots or something. How selfish is that? But at the end of the day, what's happening at the moment, there will be a solution eventually, and that the planet's not going to be destroyed. So don't start thinking about this is going to start World War III, because then it's making things happen. It's like every thought you're giving out to ether, it's like bringing it all together, all that energy, all that thought process, and all thinking. What we got to think is we don't want this in our time or any time wars. We want peace, we want love, we want everybody to get on with each other. We want a life that we can all enjoy each other, a life that we can see our children grow, go to university, or have a lovely family. That's what we should be thinking of. We should be thinking of others. I will say when the COVID virus came around, people were much more kinder. They were all pulling together. If somebody had run out of flour or eggs, a person would leave it on the doorstep. And people would really, if they'd done their walks going over fields or woods, say, good morning, good afternoon, how are you, all right? And smiling, bringing good energy, bringing the love, because they thought, it might be our last day on earth and that. And I can remember we had a snow thunderstorm where a loud bang. 6 o'clock in the morning, all the birds, you could hear everything. People really thought it was the end of the world and that. And the thing is, all this is awakening what's happening around the universe, what's happening around the world. Good thoughts, good actions, everything can accomplish that if we have good thoughts. So I'm asking all of you out there, perhaps to do a short visualization, even if it's 5 minutes a day with your prayers, to visualize peace, to visualize solutions, to visualize love, to visualize that people that have done wrong to be accountable with their actions, not by killing or destroying, by having a change of heart, to really be remorseful, to be sorry for their actions. There's lots of people that really, really think it's their right to go and destroy another human being. Maybe not kill them, but maybe harm them, maybe try and strip them of everything, properties, money, everything, or break marriages up. It's so wrong. We can do great things with the power of thought. Now, Craig and I, doing mediumship, clairvoyance or healing, is a thing we enjoy doing, a thing we do with love. Not everybody has a gift, but those that have a gift can change the actions on the earth and the world. How many people do you see on Facebook saying, I make a contact with the spirit world, and they're holding up an angel card? It's got to be evidential proof. It's got to be very special. And I believe that there's a time that people connect from the other side to people on the earth and that. So ask your angels or healing angels, the four healing angels, to protect the earth and the planet, and also bring the vibration up and the higher energy, the higher power, the power to help those that are in need. And that, I mean, even if you're going out and you just smile at a stranger, it makes them feel good, because there's a lot of lonely people out there. But wars, when the people went through the Second World War, they're all helping each other. And then the women learnt really to make the best of their resources. I mean, they collected, I believe, so my grandmother told me, in the Second World War, iron gates, iron railings. Women were working in the factories, really all pulling together. And people, they didn't have an awful lot, but the little they had, they shared. It made people closer together, and people volunteering, helping in the hospitals and everything like this. I feel sorry for the doctors and the staff on both sides of the country, what's happening in Israel and also in the other hospitals. Those doctors and nurses are dedicated. They will not leave their patients and that, because they've got a duty, they feel, and it's their destiny, if you like, to help those that are in need. And I don't agree with wars on both sides. That's my view. But send your prayers, send your thoughts. The world is not going to end, I can assure you. This is an awakening. Sometimes Mother Nature, or sometimes it's like a clearing of things to start again. Sometimes it's like places, cities are completely flattened, and it's as if it's new beginnings. And I don't believe really that is going to be the end of the world. It might be threat of it. People start thinking that. That's like willing it, if you know, but God willing, it won't happen. And I know it won't happen. But nobody should be persecuted because they're Jewish, or because they're Irish, or because they're English, or because they're Muslim, Catholic, whatever. Every person is a unique person in their own right. Many religions cause wars, but we should all be as one. There's only one God, and that's the same God we all pray to. But you see, you've got extremists, you've got people that love killing, and it feels they get high on it by killing, and that it's an empowerment they feel, it's an power they feel. It's the same like people want to be leaders of different countries. There's an empowerment. It makes them feel good, destroying. It's like evil, it's like Satan, isn't it? It's evil. People aren't born evil. There's not a gene for kindness, or a gene for being evil, or a gene for a woman she's got to be a unique housewife, a 1950s housewife. It's not a gene. We do these things because we want to do them. You know, the young people now, technology and everything, are quite switched on. I mean, what worries me, what if all those robots were here and suddenly they caused war and they destroyed people? All these things are possible because all technology is moving so quickly. All these drones and everything, all these listening machines, you're all being observed. Even if you go and order something, say on Facebook or that, it suddenly pops up an advert. So all that information is being stored everywhere. So all that information, and people will know exactly where you are. They know exactly who your relatives are. They know exactly what you're talking about, and that. But there is still good things in the world, and that. And it doesn't mean because somebody is Chinese or somebody's Indian, they're bad. That's rubbish. There's good people still in every race and creed. I have many people that come from many faiths, and I see them as a person. And most of the people I have are quite lovely people, and people that I believe the spirit world make the appointments for that person to come to me. And if you can help one soul in this life and transform their life and help them, that's a good thing. But it doesn't mean you've got to be a walkover, does it? It doesn't mean, oh, go to her, she'll give you that. No, use your common sense. If you've got common sense, you're going to go a long way in this life. Now, I feel that we've all got to think positive and help those in need. even these journalists I've been watching on the news and all these terrible things that are happening and children being burnt alive and heads chopped off, it fills their hearts with sadness, and that just people want good things and that. So we've got to achieve these good things, but at the end of the day, send your thoughts and prayers up for those people that are suffering or are still going to suffer. So a bloodbath that we foresee, and it just won't be in those countries, it'll be in other countries. So what we're going to do to stop it, I mean, it's okay promising aid and weapons and things like this, but it's creating things all the time. What we should be doing is go into the source that causes these things. And then once we got hold of that source and things like that, then we can have solutions. And the only solution is to stand strong and to represent truth and represent love and represent, well, right, bear with me, is to, you think really with all these gadgets you could just stick it on like your head like that and it would take off. But do not fear. It will not be the end of the world. Do not fear. There's more atrocities to happen, but there will not be the end of the planet. All right, it's an awakening. It's awakening for people to see the truth in what's happening. So I'm going to leave you there, and God look after each one of you, and God willing, may all this be a peaceful solution. May by the month of December this year that there is good, that it will turn around. God be with all of you.